He can desire many women. He can want bodies, curves, faces, and fantasies. But he only obsesses over one, the woman who touches his mind, his senses, his imagination. The woman who feels like temptation wrapped in softness, not desperate, not chasing, just silently magnetic. Today, I'll show you how to become that woman, his intense desire he can't resist. But before we start, make sure to subscribe because you're stepping into a version of you he'll never forget. Desire doesn't begin in his hands, his eyes, or his body. It begins in his mind. Men don't crave what they can touch easily. They crave what they must earn, what they must think about, what they must pursue. Your power is not in giving him everything. It's in giving him just enough that his imagination takes over. You don't have to be the most beautiful woman he's ever seen. You only need to be the one who awakens his curiosity. Be warm, but not fully open. Let him wonder what you feel, what you think, what you desire. Leave space for mystery. When you speak, don't rush. Let silence exist. Silence is sexy. Slowness is sensual. Men desire what feels like a slow burn, not instant gratification. Ask a question and let him sit with the anticipation instead of filling the space. Look away while smiling softly. It shows confidence, self-control, and a hint of play. The goal isn't to tease him sexually. The goal is to activate his fantasy. You want him driving home thinking, why does she feel like something I need to understand? You want his mind replaying conversations, your tone, your voice. You want him wondering how you feel about him. Curiosity is hunger. Hunger becomes desire. Desire becomes obsession. The women who are unforgettable don't rush the connection. They don't try to prove themselves. They let the connection build like heat behind a closed door. Slow, mysterious, undeniable. When he texts, respond, but not instantly every time. Let him wait occasionally, not to play games, but to show you have a life he wants to be part of. You're not always available, but you're always intriguing. That's how you enter his mind and stay there. He should never be fully sure he has you. He should feel like you're a gift he's receiving slowly, layer by layer. The moment he feels you're already his, desire collapses. The moment he feels he could lose you, desire ignites. You don't need to chase. You need to pull him forward without stepping toward him. That is the feminine art of desire. Sensuality is something a man feels long before he touches you. True seduction isn't loud, explicit, or desperate. It is gentle, slow, felt emotionally, psychologically, physically, all at once. A woman becomes irresistible not by showing more, but by making him feel more. She is soft yet powerful, quiet yet magnetic, calm yet impossible to ignore. Men don't stay awake for the woman who throws herself at them. They stay awake for the woman they can't fully read, the one whose presence feels like heat on the skin and honey in the mind. A sensual woman is fully in her body. She doesn't rush her movements. She lets them flow. She walks like she owns the moment, not like she wants attention. Her presence is the attention. When she looks at him, she doesn't stare. She glances with intention, then looks away as if she's deciding whether he deserves more of her eyes. When she smiles, it's slow, warm, and genuine, not forced or flashy. Just enough to melt something in him. Just enough to make him lean closer without realizing why. Your voice is one of your strongest tools. Men remember tone more than words. Slow down when you speak to him. Add softness, warmth, a slight drop in your tone. Let your voice be something he feels like a secret, something intimate. You don't need to flirt aggressively. Small things matter more. A soft laugh, a gentle when you like something he says, a pause before you answer, like you're savoring the moment. This is sensual confidence, and it lingers. Touch is even more powerful when used rarely. A short, light touch on his arm in a moment of connection. Fingers brushing his when you hand him something. Quick, subtle, but intentional. So small he almost questions if it happened, but so warm he feels it hours later. Desire grows when contact feels like a privilege, not a routine. Even your absence can be sensual. When you leave a conversation at the right moment, when laughter is at its peak, when connection feels alive, you leave him craving more. When you say good night before he's ready for the night to end, you create hunger. Men dream about the moment they didn't fully get to have. Not what you gave, what you withheld with grace. Sensuality also lives in how you respond emotionally. You don't react to everything. You don't crumble for attention or beg for reassurance. You breathe. You choose your responses. You express when needed, but you don't explode. Men find emotional composure incredibly enticing. It feels safe, deep, feminine. A woman who can feel deeply but express gracefully becomes unforgettable. She's not chaotic, she's captivating. Let him discover you slowly. Share pieces of your mind, pieces of your heart, but not the entire story all at once. Tell him what you love, what inspires you, what makes you smile in the quiet hours of the night, but leave some pages unturned. A man desires what feels endless, layered, evolving. Surprise him with passion he didn't expect. Be soft and then strong. Be playful and then introspective. Keep him uncovering new parts of you, like a book he can't stop reading at 2 a.m. Your physical beauty may attract him, but your sensual energy is what keeps him replaying moments in his mind long after you're gone. It's how you tuck your hair behind your ear while thinking, the way you breathe in when something excites you, the way your eyes soften when you listen, the pauses between your words, the space you allow him to enter instead of forcing connection. Most women try to impress. The sensual woman lets him experience her. She knows desire is not about being sexual. It's about being sensed. A man remembers how she made him feel in his body. Warm, curious, drawn in, unable to detach. The memory stays with him like a taste he craves again and again. A presence he wants back, even if he doesn't understand why. To become irresistible, you must slow down enough for him to feel you. Let your energy be the invitation. Let your essence fill the silence. When he leaves you, he shouldn't walk away with answers. He should leave with questions, with imagination, with a hunger that grows when the world gets quiet at night. That is sensual power. That is how desire becomes obsession. Mystery is the oxygen of desire. The moment a man feels he knows everything about you, the fire cools. But when you are layered, unpredictable, emotionally rich, he keeps coming back because there is always more to discover. Mystery is not about being distant, cold, or unavailable. It's about being intentionally selective, sharing pieces of yourself slowly, like a story. He gets chapter by chapter instead of the entire book in one sitting. Men crave what still has depth to explore, what feels endless and unfolding. Don't tell him every thought, emotion, fear, or desire the moment you feel it. Not because you're hiding, but because intimacy becomes powerful when it builds gradually. If you reveal everything too quickly, you remove the excitement, the anticipation, the chase. He should feel like each time he speaks to you, he uncovers a new thought, a new angle, a new spark he didn't expect. You want him thinking, there's more to her. I want to know her deeper. When he asks questions, answer beautifully, but not fully. If he asks about your childhood, tell him one vivid story instead of your entire history. If he asks what you want in a future partner, give him a glimpse, a poetic hint, someone who sees depth, fire, softness all at once. If he asks about your dreams, tell him one dream, but leave the others for later. You're not hiding, you're pacing. You're letting him lean in. You're giving him space to crave the next piece. Men fall hardest for the woman they cannot predict. Be warm, but let him earn deeper access. Be affectionate, but not for free. Sometimes surprise him with kindness. Other times surprise him with your calm boundaries. Sometimes be playful and light. Other times be deep and contemplative. Let him feel different shades of you, like a song with more than one note. Desire lives in contrast. It fades in certainty. When you speak, leave sentences unfinished sometimes. Say something meaningful, then stop. Let silence finish it. When he asks a personal question, smile, hold his gaze for a moment, then answer slowly, thoughtfully, as if you're deciding what part of you he's ready for. That pause is powerful. That pause makes him feel the moment. That pause becomes memory. Mystery is also how you use your presence. Don't always be the first to text. Don't respond instantly every time, not as a game, but as a reflection of a full, rich life. When you're busy, say so softly and gracefully, then return later with warmth. Let him feel your absence and then feel the glow of your return. Men think most when you are silent. They crave most when you are not immediately accessible. A craving cannot form if he is always satisfied. Even in conversation, guide him gently. Ask deep questions, not casual ones. Ask what he fears, what he wants when no one is watching, what keeps him awake at night. Get him to reveal stories he hasn't told anyone. But when he asks you something equally deep, answer with a poetic layer, not all the way. Say something that gives him truth, but leaves him hungry for the rest. Something like, I'll tell you more someday. That line alone can live in his mind for weeks. Your emotions should be real, but not all available at once. Show passion when it matters, softness when it's deserved, boundaries when they are needed. A mysterious woman does not withhold affection. She offers it intentionally, meaningfully, memorably. She doesn't love blindly. She chooses selectively. Men chase selectivity. They crave the woman whose love feels earned, not given as default. Mystery doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means you hold your inner world with value. You don't throw your soul at his feet. You reveal it slowly, like a candle lit room he explores in steps. Each step forward is a reward. Each moment of closeness is earned. And the more he earns, the more he wants. Desire grows when he feels like he's getting closer, but not quite finished, like there's always one more layer, one more kiss, one more truth. Be the woman who can be known, but never fully consumed. The woman who can be held, but never fully solved. The woman who loves, but only when the connection is deep and mutual. A man's mind returns again and again to the mystery he hasn't finished unfolding, the scent he remembers but can't name, the softness he tasted but wants again. Mystery turns attraction into obsession. It keeps him awake at night. It makes him crave your presence, your voice, your breath, your aura. You don't need confusion or manipulation, just depth, just layers, just a selfhood too rich to reveal all at once. When you live with inner fullness, you don't need to perform mystery. You become mystery naturally. And he feels it in his chest, in his throat, in the quiet hours of midnight when your name crosses his mind like a secret. Confidence is the sexiest drug a woman can carry, and men can sense it instantly. It's not loud, not aggressive, not attention-seeking. It's a quiet power, a calm ownership of self that makes him feel like he's standing in the presence of something rare. Confidence doesn't shout, "Look at me." Confidence whispers, "You'll want to." And without even trying, you become unforgettable. A confident woman does not need validation to feel valuable. She already knows her worth. She doesn't wait for a man to choose her. She chooses where she invests her heart, her body, her attention. She doesn't try to impress him with achievements or beauty. She lets her presence speak first. When she walks into a room, she doesn't look around for approval. She moves like she belongs there, like she is enough. Because she is. Confidence lives in how you respond when he pulls back. A woman who knows her worth doesn't panic, chase, beg, or break. She breathes. She leans back. She lets distance reveal clarity. If he steps away and she doesn't collapse, he feels something he's not used to. Curiosity, respect, desire. Because a man cannot crave a woman who is already emotionally kneeling before him, but he will chase the one who stands tall. You don't have to be perfect. Confidence isn't about flawless skin or perfect words. Confidence is the ability to move through life without apologizing for existing. It's the way you laugh without worrying if it's too loud. The way you speak your truth without softening it to be liked. The way you maintain eye contact, not to seduce, but to acknowledge that you are equal, not lesser, not desperate, not dependent. Confidence is also in the boundaries you set. When a man senses you have standards, not walls, but standards, he realizes you are a woman he must rise to meet. Not because you demanded it, but because you expect nothing less. You don't tolerate half love, half effort, half presence. You don't wait as an option. You don't accept breadcrumbs when you deserve the whole loaf. That self-respect is magnetic. When you speak about your life, speak with passion, not doubt. When you talk about your dreams, don't shrink them to be digestible. Men find ambition sexy when combined with softness. Confidence doesn't mean being hard. It means knowing you are capable and still choosing tenderness. It means you could survive without him, but you choose to invite him in. That balance unsettles and attracts him all at once. A man falls hardest for the woman who doesn't lose herself in loving him. The woman who keeps her friendships, her hobbies, her goals, her spark. The woman who has a life outside of him, not out of spite, but because she values her own soul. The more she shines outside his presence, the more he wants to be part of her world. Men chase what they are afraid to lose, and confidence makes you irreplaceable. Even the way you handle intimacy shows confidence. You are not rushed. You do not seek approval through your body. You give affection when you desire, not when you fear losing him. You enjoy connection without making it your identity. You know you bring value just by being you. Emotionally, intellectually, sensually. You don't try to prove you are enough. You already are. Confidence doesn't mean you never feel insecurity. Confidence means you don't let insecurity drive your behavior. You allow space for vulnerability, but you don't crumble. You allow love, but you don't depend on it to breathe. You show emotion without drowning him in it. When you're upset, you express it calmly. When you're excited, you glow openly. Emotional regulation is deep feminine power, rare, intoxicating, unforgettable. A confident woman doesn't chase intensity. She creates safety and allure through her stability. She is the calm in the storm, not the storm itself. She is a sanctuary, not chaos. And a man will crave that peace more than beauty, more than sex, more than charm. He will crave the woman who makes him feel grounded, challenged, and captivated. You become irresistible when you don't need him, but you want him. When you choose him, not cling to him. When your love enhances your life, not replaces it. He feels lucky, not entitled. He feels aware that you could walk away if you were not valued, and that awareness keeps desire alive. Confidence is the root of feminine magnetism. It is the softest and strongest form of seduction. A man can forget a beautiful face, but he never forgets the woman who stood in her own worth, gently, gracefully, unapologetically. The most powerful desire isn't created when he gets you. It's created when he almost has you, when you give warmth but leave him wanting more. Desire lives in the space between fulfillment and longing, not in withholding love, but in pacing it. When you give too much too fast, he stops imagining. When you give just enough to stir something in him, his mind continues the story long after you're gone. Leaving him wanting more means you don't stay past the emotional peak. If the conversation feels amazing, end it with a soft smile, not a cling. Leave the call while it still feels sweet. End the date while the spark is alive rather than letting it fade into routine. Humans remember the peak of a moment, not the end. If you end when the moment is still glowing, he is left craving continuation. He is left replaying every second. Do not be too available. Availability is beautiful until it becomes guaranteed. A man should feel your presence like sunrise, not like a lamp that switches on whenever he decides to call. When he messages, respond with warmth, but not always instantly. When he asks to see you, make time, but not every time at the cost of your own world. You are not a prize he already owns. You are a woman he must continuously value to keep. Leaving him wanting more doesn't mean being cold. It means you create moments of deep connection, then gracefully step back. It means you give him affection with intention, then let him miss it. You give him softness, then you go live your life, your hobbies, your friendships, your passion. When a woman disappears into her life after lighting fire in a man's chest, he feels the absence like heat under the skin. He thinks about her not because he is deprived, but because she tasted like more. When you speak to him, say things that linger. A sentence with depth carries farther than an hour of meaningless talk. Say something intimate but incomplete. Something like, I like the way you think it's rare. Or, if you knew what I was thinking right now, you'd smile. Statements like this leave his mind open, curious, restless. He wonders what you meant. He imagines, and in imagination, desire grows like wildfire. Do not text all night every night. Have evenings where you end the conversation with sweetness. I enjoyed you. Sleep well. Let him fall asleep thinking of what he would have said next, not scrolling through silence because the conversation ran dry. Emotional hunger keeps interest alive. Even physically, less can be more, especially early. A soft touch and then withdrawal. A kiss that ends with a breath instead of completion. A moment where he feels you, wants more but must wait for it. Anticipation is the heartbeat of desire. When he knows there is more to come. He returns, he thinks. He imagines you when alone, when restless, when midnight stretches long. Give him the feeling that he hasn't reached the center of you yet. He may have touched your hand, but not your depth. He may have heard your laughter, but not your secrets. He may have kissed you, but not your soul. A man becomes obsessed when he feels unfinished, when he feels like he tasted something that could change him, if only he could have more. But to keep him wanting more, you must have more within yourself. You must keep growing, evolving, becoming. A woman who keeps expanding gives a man endless discovery. 1 month he sees your fire, the next your softness, later your ambition, then your mystery. You are not a chapter. You are an entire book still being written. Leaving him wanting more is about depth, not withholding. It's about being generous with your energy, but not draining yourself empty. It's about being passionate, but not possessive. Present, but not dependent. When he gets a taste of your emotional richness, your sensual peace, your confident boundaries, he wants more because it feels rare, not replaceable. A man cannot obsess over what he fully possesses. He obsesses over what he experiences deeply but cannot finish. He obsesses over the woman who stays with him hours after she leaves. In memory, in imagination, in craving, you don't need to be perfect. You only need to be unforgettable and unforgettable women leave echoes, not closure. To become the woman he can't resist, focus on mystery, confidence, and sensual energy. Be soft yet powerful, desired but not desperate, present but never fully given. Let him crave your presence, your warmth, and your depth. Desire grows in anticipation, not possession. Stay unforgettable, pace your love, and let him wonder about every layer of you. Subscribe now for more tips to ignite irresistible attraction and keep him thinking about you all night.